Hey everyone, welcome back to Creative Differences. I'm Jarrett,
I'm Humza.
and we just watched opening night live for Gamescom, the
Yeah.
end of the Summer Game Fest.
Yeah.
2-hour show.
2 hour show
Pretty
hosted
long.
by our boy Jeff Keighley.
Yeah. He it was his first live thing on a soundstage in a really long time.
Yeah.
They're kind of testing the waters for Game Awards later this year.
Yeah, a very anticipated show, and today we'll be kind of going through what was shown and our thoughts and discussions on it.
Do you think that it was a pretty good show? Like, what are your base level thoughts on it?
I feel like it was interesting. There was certainly stuff that I saw that was pretty cool, but I also think that a lot of these gameplay showcase events haven't really been showing gameplay.
Yeah, this one definitely had the most gameplay that we've seen all summer.
Absolutely.
Because we're getting closer and closer to the, release of the next gen consoles. Mm-hmm. The studios are like, okay, we can show it now.
Yeah, absolutely. I think this was a very well organized, very well performed show.
Mm-hmm.
It makes me excited for Game Awards because it all went very smoothly.
I was pretty impressed by the variety of games from, Sony exclusive first party titles all the way down to some pretty interesting indie games. There was something for everybody here.
Absolutely. I think it's certainly that diverse just amount of things shown, which is pretty cool.
We got to start off, they gave us a little bit more of a look at Black Ops Cold War. We got a full cutscene with Ronald Reagan. glad that they got him for the game.
Yeah,
back from the dead.
I think Black Ops Cold War is exciting because what has been shown in the trailer so far is that it's going to be using the Modern Warfare weapon animations, and having that with the weapons and style of the 80s will be cool.
Yeah, I was impressed by the PS5 trailers that they were showing.
Yeah, because a lot of those were pre-rendered cutscenes, but you could also tell what was actual gameplay, and gameplay looked very clean.
I was just very impressed by the lighting as well.
Absolutely. That game engine is really good, and I felt like on PC with Modern Warfare's launch, I just was missing out on having the best stuff.
Because it was broken when it came out, right?
Yeah, it was kind of busted. So me thinking about getting a PS5 has now changed with this title.
Because this show has changed my thoughts on the PS5 entirely.
Yeah, now there's stuff that gives more insight into what I would be using it for. I think Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War.
We'll get into the PS5 stuff, but Cold War was a very good opening for it.
Yeah, I'll be playing that. I'll buy that whatever I decide, having a console or whatever I choose. But that will be a game to play. Moving on, we had a look at reveal for Unknown 9 Awakening.
Yeah, I think it's a studio from Montreal.
Yeah.
I've never heard of the studio before. It was just kind of like a concept trailer. There really wasn't anything there.
Nah, just another next-gen title.
Yeah, for PC and next-gen.
Yeah.
It's weird just because PC, it's constantly evolving, but I think once Cyberpunk comes out, that's next-gen for PC.
Oh yeah,
that's when we're in it in PC,
Absolutely. Our next game showcased was Doom Eternal's DLC, Doom Eternal: The Ancient Gods Part 1. We got some gameplay for that.
Yeah, I mean, I love Doom Eternal. I thought it was a really fun game, but this trailer didn't show me anything that makes me want to play this again. You know what I mean? It just looks like extra levels.
No, absolutely. The thing with Doom Eternal was it was very fun. It's probably one of my favorite shooters of this year that came out. But it's also its content base was interesting. It seems that this DLC is continuing the story that is already pretty vague.
Yeah, I didn't care about that at all.
Yeah,
I got every collectible in that game, and I didn't give a shit about any of them. Shit.
But this DLC is if it's free or if it's pretty cheap, if it's not super expensive, I'll probably pick it up. If it's under $30, I'll think about it. But
yeah, I don't think they've said too much about the price yet.
No.
They in that trailer it ended with it comes in the deluxe edition of the game.
Yeah,
but
absolutely.
I didn't buy that, so oops.
if it, because it's coming out in October 20th, which I feel like is a time period where there's not a whole lot of games.
Yeah, October seems kind of like the calm before the storm of November.
Yeah, I was planning on using October to catch up on like Destiny.
Oh, yeah.
Be ready for the expansion.
I thought the new one doesn't come out until November.
No, it doesn't come out till November, but
You got shit to do?
I have to level up. I
okay.
wish I genuinely wish that there was a way that I could pay to
like in
level
World
up.
of Warcraft?
Yeah, but I can't. So I have to grind through stuff, which is easy, but I have to just do it. But yeah.
Then one of the bigger surprises I saw was, or we both saw, everybody saw it, was Dragon Age 4. We got some mostly concept art and some early like development footage.
Yeah.
BioWare's trying.
These weird Vidoc things are always like a little tease of the game and whatnot, but they never really get me interested.
Everyone was in a field for some reason.
I know.
It was mostly an interview with devs than an actual trailer for the game.
Yeah, it's being developed. It's happening. I feel like it was probably early.
It looks like it's really far off.
Yeah, I don't know.
Especially with COVID, it seemed like it really hindered the development of this game. So,
yeah.
I mean, BioWare is in a really tricky spot because Andromeda failed, and then Anthem failed even more.
God, yeah.
So
really rough time for them.
Yeah, they've gone through, like, they lost a lot of people in the studio. There's layoffs. Like, it was a whole thing.
Absolutely, their reputation is probably at their lowest it's ever been.
It used to, like, last generation, they were the kings.
Yeah, they were with Mass Effect 3.
They were like the RPG studio, and now that's kind of like CD Projekt Red.
Oh yeah. If anyone has taken up that mantle, it's definitely CD Projekt Red.
Oh, and then Doc Brown came in to plug Surgeon Simulator 2, which actually looks kind of fun. It looks like a really big leap from what that game was when we were like 12.
Yeah, a big multiplayer thing, which is cool. Yeah. But the weirdest part was it's Back to the Future, like.
No, but the thing is that wasn't part of that at all. It was just him there as Doc Brown being like, play this game.
It was just Back to the Future themed stuff for no Back to the Future content.
Yeah, there's no Back to the Future content in the game at all. They just got Doc Brown, the character, to plug this game, which I thought was very strange. But Jeff's shows are always like that. There's always like a Muppet that comes up out of nowhere that's like, I play Fortnite or whatever.
Yeah, there's always some wild card factor.
There's a Bridge game about Walking Dead zombies.
Yeah. It's with the game Bridge Constructor, which is pretty fun. I feel like it's gotten a pretty good community on PC, but now it's doing a Walking Dead tie-in, so that's a thing.
Norman Reedus is in more games than one now.
Oh, god damn it.
Sam & Max is getting revived in VR. That was kind of before our time when those guys were big.
Yeah, those are definitely... I feel like I associate something like Sam & Max with, like, old Lucasfilm games.
Yeah.
There's older, like...
90s stuff. You know?
Yeah, certainly. So they're coming to VR.
Yeah, I think it's a new studio as well that's taking it over.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then we got like a 15-minute, barely animated concept art for the new World of Warcraft expansion.
It's their series. It's the first episode of their like animated series.
Oh, did I miss that part?
Yeah. Jeff was oops. Like, there's going to be multiple episodes. They're called like Afterlife or something.
That makes so much more sense. Yeah. I was sitting there for like all 10 minutes of that.
I know.
Where is the game?
I didn't expect them to play like the whole episode. I was like, oh, they'll do a trailer for their series and we'll move on. No. World of Warcraft got like a whole like 10, 15-minute section.
And that game's been out for 20 years, so I don't understand any of that.
Anything. But it's their new expansion.
Yeah, then they showed, some gameplay from that. I guess if you still play World of Warcraft, good for you.
Yeah, more content.
Yeah.
Seems interesting. Our next one is more nerd shit.
Yeah. Warhammer.
Their
fantasy series. What is it called again?
So it's called Age of Sigmar.
Yeah. They have it. They're the first game in that branch of the Warhammer franchise.
Yes.
It's called Age of Sigmar Stormguard.
Yeah.
I couldn't really tell what kind of game it is.
Yeah, I don't know if these Warhammer games are like more RTS games.
They vary.
Yeah.
Because like Vermintide is an FPS like co-op shooter.
Oh hell yeah.
The one there's another Warhammer game, and then they announced 2 here, but this one is going to be on all the consoles, even on Switch. So that makes me wonder what kind of game it is.
Yeah. Always cool.
We got some more info about Crash 4, which
Yeah.
looks great. I'm really excited to play that.
Fun platforming game
Yeah.
for the PS5 or PS4 rather. Yeah.
Then Square Enix showed up with Outriders again.
Yeah. Outriders.
Did we? Oh, we were looking at like the order of things that happened.
No. My list just doesn't have Outriders
Oh,
on
okay.
it for some reason, but we got more shit.
Outriders looks like a combination of like Destiny and Borderlands.
Mm-hmm.
The enemy design looked cool, the character design looked cool, but I really don't vibe with those games, so I probably won't play it.
Nothing about Outriders has seemed appealing to me, and
I think it's a launch title for PS5 as well.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Damn.
But or like this year for PS5.
Yeah, just pretty alright. And then we got another sort of indie title from a 2-person studio.
Yeah, in Sweden, it's called Teardown.
Yeah.
I've been following this game for a little bit, a little like over a year now. I've known about this game, and it's a voxel-based physics game where everything is destructible, and it's kind of like a puzzle where you go in on a map and you have these objectives that you have to pick up like X amount of these little devices, but you have a time limit once you start. So you spend the first half of the round kind of like figuring out a path of like how do I get from each like object and then off the level as quick as possible.
Yeah.
So you can like move planks around to build bridges, you can bust holes in the walls, you can set things on fire, you can drive through things. Everything is destructible, and it's made by 2 people, which I think is really cool.
Yeah, this game looks really fun. The graphics look really nice. It's a cool art style. It's a really fun game idea too. Interesting stuff.
Yeah, I don't think it has a release date.
No, not currently.
Okay.
Looks just like it's just being made.
Earlier this year, we got to look at Little Nightmares 2, which I really like the first game. I love the art style of like the kind of claymation Coraline kind of like spooky stuff, and this one's big thing is that it's a co-op game this time.
Yeah.
So you can play with somebody else, and it definitely looks pretty spooky.
It's like the opposite of Unraveled.
Yeah.
It's super scary, just imagery. I think that...
I love that you're tiny too.
Yeah.
It's a great way to make things feel scarier when everything's bigger.
It comes up with such creatively lit sandboxes for you to like have to platform around. I don't do scary games, but that would be kind of fun to play.
Yeah. It comes out next year in February.
Oh, nice.
On like pretty much everything, including next gen.
Yeah.
Then we got some more gameplay.
We got WWE 2K stuff.
Yeah, we're not going to talk about that.
And then our next one was a bit of a bigger title from EA. It is a Star Wars Squadron.
Yeah. I'm very mixed on this game. I think you are too, right?
I'm not mixed at all. I don't think this game is going to be good. I don't really trust EA with any Star Wars content. I liked what they showed here. I like their opening cinematic thing that they had. I thought it was very creatively interesting, but I don't think that this game is going to be very fun.
I wasn't a fan of how the ships fly in the new Battlefront games. It just does. I die instantly. Like, I don't know how to control it. The game doesn't do a good job at telling you how to do it. What I was impressed by with this game was its original design for the characters looks so much better than the weird photo scanned Mark Hamill that they have for like all of the licensed faces and stuff for all the characters from the movies and the Battlefront games.
Absolutely.
The original stuff that they've done in this game looks really good.
Yeah.
And EA sucks, but you can't deny that DICE makes really good stuff when they have the money behind it.
Is this game made by DICE?
I don't think so, but it's the engine, the Frostbite engine, and it's all the same stuff from Battlefront. That's why I think it's gonna feel gameplay wise very similar.
Oh yeah.
Which makes me not probably want to play it. It's launching at a pretty cheap price point too. I think it's only like $40. Yes. Comes out October if I remember right.
Yeah.
I guess we'll see how that does in reviews. I'm interested to see where it goes and how EA destroys it with microtransactions. Because it has a campaign in it as well.
It does. It's going to be fucked somehow, but you are right. This game graphically looks very good, especially with like full VR support.
Yeah, I forgot about that part. I always forget about that.
VR is certainly a very interesting platform right now, and I think this game going VR is really cool because it looks really nice.
Yeah.
Like, you can't deny that this game is graphically very good, but Yeah,
EA
quality.
Yeah, EA being EA had to follow it up with Star Wars stuff for The Sims that made me cry laughing because all I wanted to hear was Kylo Ren go like, "Bingo bodunda" or whatever the Sims do, you know.
Dude, that because it's like a tie-in to like the Disney stuff.
Yeah,
to,
yeah.
like Disney World.
They said it was inspired by the Disney section or the Star Wars section at Disney.
All right, let's move on to the good games.
Yeah, 12 minutes. Oh my God, this game was at E3 last year with Xbox, and
yes, sir.
It's a story-based game about a man stuck in a time loop, and then it went off like I hadn't heard anything about it for a really long time.
Yeah.
It's being published by Annapurna, and they have had some killer games lately, and then they seem to have them going forward into next gen.
Yeah.
But this time we got a cast trailer.
Yes.
With some giant names.
Yeah, some very big actor names.
Yeah. I think
game.
the man is going to be played by James McAvoy, and the woman is going to be played by Daisy Ridley, and it seems like Willem Dafoe is the narrator.
Yeah, absolutely.
It says coming soon to PC and Xbox, so I'm hoping within the next couple of months because I really do want to play this game.
Yeah, it's only an Xbox and PC platform right now.
Which also makes me think it's going to be a Game Pass game.
Yeah, absolutely. The game looks really cool, like visually interesting, like this sort of thriller, mystery type thing with such a big name cast.
Yeah.
It looks cool. We got other Godfall stuff, which new character, whatever.
Warframe.
Yeah, we got Warframe, another expansion.
It's crazy how the community for that game is so big because I remember I tried it a couple years ago and I couldn't get into it.
Oh, dude, Warframe is crazy because it's like the entry level is kind of difficult. It's hard to get into it, but man, those people that are like super into it, they're really cool because they have a bunch of shit.
Yeah, and it's been around for what? 6 years now?
It's been around for forever, so certainly people have had a lot of time with it. But yeah, the next game that I think looks very like next gen quality is Mafia Definitive Edition.
That comes out next month, I believe.
Yeah.
And I'm very excited for this game because it just looks great.
Yeah, I never played Mafia 1. It was a
Yeah.
little bit before my time. I only played a little bit of Mafia 2, but man, this game looks really pretty. I think it's not only just a remaster, but I feel like
it's from the ground up.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that their engine looks really cool. A third-person action game set during like the 30s is a really fun aesthetic, and man, this game looks really pretty.
Yeah. I can't attest for the story just because I haven't played it, but it makes me. I feel like it's gonna be better than like GTA and Red Dead in terms of because that's what this game is. It's a big open world sandbox.
Absolutely.
Crime kind of game.
Yeah.
Just like those, but
I have no idea if it's taking one-to-one the story of the first Mafia game. I'm sure that it would, and it's hitting all those same story beats. I'm curious on what like a Mafia fan thinks about this game and what they are expecting.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah. Our next one is a title that we're both really excited for. I love these titles. It is our Lego Star Wars, the Skywalker Saga. We recently found out that it is delayed to
next spring,
2021, which is totally fine. Like if they want more time, that's totally okay. But we got to look at a couple of the
first reveal of the sequels.
Yes,
because I think you told me they did a game for 7, but they didn't for 8 and 9 until now.
No, so what we're getting is a full from the ground up prequels and original trilogy and new trilogy. So the prequels look really nice and pretty, and
the fidelity in the environments and next to the Lego stuff is very cool.
They're also adding like voice.
Yeah, I remember when they changed that when they started doing voice stuff for Lego, and that made me stop playing those games.
I know.
Besides also being like a teenager, but like I found it was very weird for me to watch like the stuff from like New Hope and the prequels and hearing the voices because I was like that wasn't like that. So I'm hoping there's like an option to turn it off for the older games.
That'd be cool. But yeah, no, I remember they started doing that with like Batman 3, and I was like, I don't feel good about that.
I think the first one I played that had it was Lego Lord of the Rings.
Oh yeah, that's a big one. But because they always just use lines from the movies, but they don't have the same voice actors.
It sounded like Mark Hamill though.
It did?
Maybe they did get him for it.
I don't know.
Because he is a voice actor. I feel like he would be more willing to actually do voiceover, especially if it's Star Wars.
Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, this game looks really cool. They showed off some things for Last Jedi and Rise of Skywalker, which are like, okay.
It's weird because seeing like those scenes in Lego is so strange to me.
It's super weird. I am mostly excited to play through the prequel ones. Those were my childhood. Yeah. I think playing that together would be really fun.
Yeah, I'd be into it. Lego Poe looks so weird. He looks like a greaser.
I know. Lego Poe does look like a weird little greaser boy. We got a weird platformer game called Struggling.
I saw something about this last week. It looks very Newgrounds-esque.
Yeah,
you know?
It reminded me of like Super Meat Boy.
I wouldn't be surprised if the artist kind of grew up around that, or was a Newgrounds animator. You know?
Yeah, absolutely. It's definitely taken that weird art style, which I love. But our next one was, I thought it was Civilization 6 when I was watching it or something.
No, it's a remaster of Age of Empires 3.
Yeah.
You know, that's for dads.
That's for dads.
It looked kind of cool if that's what you're into. It seems like it's a very big game, and you're getting that 4K remaster and some new game modes and stuff.
Big dynamic RTS game with really cool graphics.
The next one was called Chorus, and that I thought was very cool. Cool space fighting game.
Yeah.
If it ever comes to Game Pass, I'll definitely try it out.
Yeah, cool arcade space shooter.
Yeah,
thing.
I couldn't. It was very vague in terms of like what the story is, but the gameplay that we saw, it looked kind of cool. I don't know if it's like a multiplayer game or if it's single player. I don't know.
It looks like it. It looks really good. Actually.
Yeah.
I really like the quality.
Okay, best in show. We finally got to look at Fall Guys Season 2. They're going for like a medieval theme, which I think is cool that they're doing themes. I hope that in the future they continue that. We're getting some
keep up those maps.
Yeah. It looks like we're getting some kind of like reimaginings of the existing game modes. The big theme around these newer maps seems you have platforms that you can physically push around to make a path to go to the next section.
Really cool dynamic. Will change how people play the game.
It definitely feels a little bit more challenging that way, and maybe involving teamwork.
Absolutely, yeah.
Like
definitely.
If you're playing with friends, you guys can all work together to make a path to go forward.
Yeah. I love the theme being this medieval sort of aesthetic of like castles and whatnot. I love these map designs. I think that it makes me very excited because Fall Guys is such a great game to play.
Yeah.
And really, the only thing I'd want more from it is just more maps and game modes and skins.
That's how they keep the game going, is the variety in the game modes for me.
Absolutely. I love these new medieval skins that they were showing off. They got like a dragon and knight armor and
some
it looks
witches.
Great. Yeah, Fall Guys is a fantastic game. And I cannot recommend it to anyone more.
I'll let you talk about this one. Wait. Oh no! Actually, we should both talk about this. Did you like this, the Medal of Honor VR game? Because I loved it.
Oh yeah.
I think it looks so fun.
Yeah. So we got Medal of Honor Above and Beyond, a VR Medal of Honor game.
It looked from the interview after the trailer. It sounded like you can play it out of VR as well, but the core experience seems like VR, mowing down Nazis.
Yeah, no, I think Medal of Honor coming back with VR is a cool move for them. I loved how it looked. It looked pretty nice. It didn't look I feel like VR now is much better quality than how it was introduced.
We're on like a cornerstone for VR where it's getting more accessible and you're actually getting full games out of it rather than just kind of like experiences or tech demos.
It's no longer a gimmick.
Like this arcadey kind of Nazi shooter where you're in France, I think, and you're with the resistance and you're infiltrating bases, and like there's a scene where you're like undercover, I think, in an interrogation room, and your buddy comes in and he throws you a gun and you catch it and then you kind of like you shoot. It just looks really entertaining. Like if Wolfenstein was in VR, like that's the same kind of vibes.
Yeah, it showed off a lot of different like locations too, which made me excited for the scope of the game and how big and how interesting it would be. But yeah, no, interesting. I can't really afford VR right now.
No,
it's not like the most.
I'm hoping Black Friday, I can either pick up an Oculus at like a discount or get a nice like 4K monitor.
Yeah.
That's my Black Friday.
Oh yeah, that's your little treat.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking forward to.
Oh, well, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Um,
Spellbreak looks cool. It was at a state of play a couple like last year. It's launching now as a free to play. It's a battle royale but with magic.
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Mm-hmm. And then they announced this yesterday.
Yeah,
but,
Turrican.
Yeah, this German studio that made some games back in the day that actually look kind of cool.
Yeah, no, I'm interested.
They look like Contra games, kind of.
Yeah,
you know,
they
that
look
old
like
school.
a mix of like Contra and Metroid, and I never really played those games.
Yeah, I didn't know what the studio was, but the little like highlight reel they showed before they announced like the remaster looked kind of interesting.
Yeah, it was.
It looked like they made like an Alien game too. Did you notice that? Like one of the
really?
the it looked like there was like a level with like xenomorphs and like Geiger inspired backgrounds. So
that's awesome.
I don't know.
That's
I think it's
cool.
a couple of games in one package. Okay, I'll let you talk about your game.
All right, so the next game that was shown off was Destiny 2 Beyond Light. It was a trailer for showing off the new subclasses, where warlocks are getting a Shade Binder, which looks like a pretty just fast subclass. Hunters have the Revenant, which seems like a more distance subclass, and Titans get the Behemoth class, which seems like a more like Striker-esque class. I think all these...
I don't know what the hell any of that meant.
But it's always fun to get more subclasses with Destiny. I'm excited for this expansion because it looks like they want to add a whole lot more. I hope it's better than their more recent Shadowfall, which I felt pretty like subpar for Destiny. I'm pretty happy with where Destiny's at right now. I don't know. I still feel like it's a big content just dump pile where there's a whole lot to do, and it can kind of I find myself really confused all the time, but I'm trying, and it seems like people in the community that are joining it because it's free are just like always like not really sure where to go and what to do. But I hope that with this new expansion it'll bring in a whole lot of new people and can be a more organized,
because they said Destiny 3 is not happening, right?
No, they said that if they wanted to make Destiny 3, they would want to have all hands on it, and it would mean that Destiny 2 would have to go offline for a while.
Oh,
which
wow.
Some of the community was like for that, and they were like, that'd be cool to have a little bit of a break and focus on a third one. And other people were like, nah, I want to continue playing. I'd rather have more expansions.
Bungie's not backed by Activision anymore, so I feel like if they took down Destiny, their only game right now, they'd be in some financial trouble.
Absolutely. I think that Destiny 2 is an interesting game because their business choices are essentially limited by departing from Activision. But some people in the community are actually arguing that Activision and that partnership kept Bungie on a certain quality scale, and now they feel that they've fallen off that quality level. Yeah, they felt that Activision, being this big company, needing to maintain certain points, have kind of made them fall back on things. But I don't know. Interesting stuff.
So we're ending the show now with the big hype all week. Everyone's been talking about the gameplay reveal for Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart. And I was blown away. Ratchet & Clank means a lot to me.
Oh, yeah?
I played it a lot growing up with my dad, and I sent him this trailer when it came out when they announced the PS5, and he was like, "Whoa, it looks like that now." I was like, "Oh yeah, it does." And I was like,
awesome.
When they showed that, I was like, "That's next gen.
Yes.
That's what I want to see." And when this reveal came out, I was like, "Oh, I wonder how they've, what the gameplay is like." And just from watching that little demo, it feels like exactly how it did, 10 years ago, more than that actually, but like the gameplay just like feels so smooth, and they were talking about how they can use the DualSense to really give each weapon its own kind of feel.
Yeah.
Because that's the best part about Ratchet & Clank is all the weapon variety and what you can do.
Yeah, they seem to have gotten really creative with their certain different weapons.
Mm-hmm.
And, yeah, because I remember the PS4 Ratchet & Clank.
That was a remake of the first game.
Yeah, I was blown away with how that game
Yeah.
looked, and I'm happy that the PS5 is getting a good sequel to Ratchet & Clank, and it looks as good as it does. I'm so impressed by not just the graphic quality, but like the character design and how everyone looks, and And a lot of people have talked about how this game is next gen with being able to switch and go through these time portals.
Yeah, that looked crazy because when they talked about that, I was like, okay. But there's no loading. You can load into you just fall into a completely new environment.
Yeah.
And there's it's just instant.
It's crazy. They're really pushing what the technology the PS5 has given them, with the SSD tech and with all the features of the controller. It seems like a really cool title to have on PS5.
I like that. I kind of miss, with everything being, so good now in terms of lighting and texturing. I miss when Clank was just like a white kind of, because they didn't have the lighting to make him shiny like a robot.
They didn't have they didn't have metal tech.
Yeah, I think they said that there's going to be some playable Clank sections, and those have been my favorite from the older games. So, and then it ends, that gameplay sequence ends with Clank getting separated from Ratchet, and then we get the girl Ratchet, who for some reason they won't tell us what her name is. That was like a part of the dev interview after.
Whoa.
Jeff asked oh, what's her name, and they were like, we can't say.
Oh, really?
Suck it, too bad.
Has there ever been another Ratchet character?
So it's weird because it does that.
This weird cat thing.
The lore gets weird because there's a set of games that are direct sequels to each other, and then they kind of did a soft reboot in the PS3 days, and that has its own lore, and Ratchet was the last of his kind, but I think they've abandoned that since then and are now pivoting toward this. They said this one is based off of the Nexus game, which I don't remember playing, and if I did, I don't remember what happened in it.
Oh, okay.
But they also said that this one is very approachable. You don't have to know a whole lot about Ratchet.
Very beginner friendly.
Yeah. So
that's awesome.
The last part of the news that I was very excited for, which has really made me think about purchasing a PS5, was that this game is going to be within the launch window.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that makes me think before the end of this year.
Oh, yeah.
If not January, February.
Yeah.
And I really think that with Spider-Man, Ratchet and Clank, what are some of the Demon Souls potentially?
Oh, they're coming to PS5?
Yeah, just the PS5 might have the best launch of any console. Yeah. As I've been alive, you know what I mean?
I'm excited for Gran Turismo 7.
Yeah, is that a launch as well?
I don't know if it's a launch, but it's coming to PS5. I think that it's always silly when a Call of Duty game gets my interest, but this Cold War game has really gotten my interest in that would be a fun console game. And again, this Ratchet and Clank game would be a fun console game. Same with Demon Souls.
Yeah. Well,
you're going to have a very good library with the PS5.
Because it just makes me think about how the PS4 launched, and you had Killzone and Knack and Assassin's Creed and Call of Duty.
You had Infamous.
No, that was later. That was March after that holiday season. But anyway, it just comparing that to what we're getting. We're getting 2 games from Insomniac, basically back to back.
Yeah.
And they look incredible. Absolutely. I really hope we get a look at Spider-Man pretty soon.
Yeah.
I feel like they're going to do a big state of play where they announce the price and the launch date, including a bunch of gameplay stuff, and that's when we'll see Spider-Man again.
Yeah, and then they'll open up pre-orders to pay for it instead.
Because last night we got some emails. I'm sure if you have a PSN account, you also got the email that you can buy your PS5 directly from Sony if you sign up, and then they'll email you to see if you get in. Yeah. And that makes me think we're getting close.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm expecting it before the end of the year. I think it'd be a very interesting thing if they plan for PS5 coming out in January or something. I don't think that'll happen.
I think it's fall, holiday 2020.
Yeah,
they've set that, but I think my prediction is by the end of September we will know the prices of these consoles.
Oh yeah.
And when they're coming out.
Oh, okay, yeah. It's kind of fun that the last generation, we spent the whole year speculating them. They were announced at E3, but now it's we're getting close to the end of the year and we're still having no information on pricing and everything.
And I will concede I was very wrong about my thought that Elden Ring would be at this show.
No, Elden Ring is not probably going to be shown until next year.
Why did they show it so early?
I don't know. I think that E3 always kind of has, or no, they showed it at what, Game Awards? When did they show Elden Ring?
It was E3 last year.
Yeah. I feel like E3 always pushes them to make these big announcements to have people like interested for the next 2 years, but then COVID happened and now it's being pushed back, and I don't know. I think they're always like pretty quiet about the like From Software is always pretty quiet about their Souls.
And I don't think Sekiro wasn't even out yet. They were still finishing up that game because if they announced it in the summer of 2019, that game didn't come out until February the next year.
Yeah.
So, I understand, why we haven't seen it yet. It makes me wonder what they're doing. Like, how is this going to be different than Dark Souls? Because that CGI trailer was also a big night guy,
Yeah. No, you're right, because it's very much like, they clearly wanted to go back to those roots of Dark Souls-esque type world, and I hope that the combat is hopefully as fast and as fun as something like Sekiro and Bloodborne.
Yeah,
because Dark Souls is fun, but I think that I much prefer like Sekiro and how that combat feels.
This one's Norse themed, and it has George R.R. Martin like writing it. Maybe that's why we don't have it yet. But yeah, we're coming to a close on the Summer of Games. I think it was pretty good considering all of the shit that's happened in the last 6 months.
Oh, absolutely.
I think spreading out E3 like this is a little strange for me. Yeah. I kind of wish we got like a solid week of all of this instead of 4 months, but it makes me wonder what the future is because everyone's pulling out of E3. E3 is fucked over so many people over the last couple of years. Jeff Keighley's even separated from them and then made E3 on his own this year.
Yeah. It
makes me wonder what we're gonna see going forward.
Yeah,
because honestly, if we're not doing E3 again next year. We're 2021 summer for like being able to go out to like cons and stuff like that again seems very unlikely to me.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right now.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing that I always think about is how much more friendly this type of marketing is. Instead of doing E3 where it's 3 days and you have to have all your announcements and
spend all the money.
Yeah, spending all the money. I think it is way more approachable for them to hold off on that and have better expectations and able to manage those if they spread it out over the summer and they don't have to reveal everything all at once, and they're also able to give more information spread out. I hope that this has shown that that it is okay for game development to take a while.
Yeah.
I hope that this is a lesson for people that hate that kind of shit and just patience. I think that it's sad, certainly, that the situation has caused a lot of delays, but I'm glad that they're able to delay.
Yeah.
I hope that we hear more game information on development and that hopefully things are going well. It always sucks to hear about a game just not doing well, not treating their employees right.
Yeah.
So I think the PlayStation news has always been very fun to learn about. They got some cool titles.
Yeah.
Always excited to hear stuff from them. And yeah, those are kind of all the points we wanted to talk about.
Yeah, today. I think, with the end of the Summer Game Fest and moving in towards the fall with the release of the next-gen consoles, we still haven't heard a whole lot from Nintendo, unfortunately. I still think that...
I wonder why.
I still think that we're going to get one big game from them this holiday, and that's going to be that Mario collection.
Oh, yeah.
And I think if we don't hear it by September, then we're not getting shit.
No, it's not happening.
But yeah. I still have some faith that we're going to get a big Nintendo game this holiday, and it's going to be that Mario title.
That would be very cool. I would love that.
Yeah.
I never playing any of those games.
Yeah, for the first time for you, I think would be very fun.
Yeah, absolutely. But I understand Nintendo's, with this current situation. It's interesting that Nintendo has taken so much time to just not say a whole lot.
Because their big first-party stuff is very much in development. We have No More Heroes 3, we have Bayonetta 3, Metroid Prime 4 had to start over.
Yeah.
Breath of the Wild 2 is... who knows where. It's
being done, but I'm sure they've had to put the brakes on a lot of things that already take a long time because they've got great quality.
Yeah, and it's not like we're not getting first-party Nintendo games. Like, they announced Pikmin 3 is coming to Switch, and we're getting them. It's just at a slower pace. It makes me wonder when they come back, what are they going to show us? Like,
absolutely.
We haven't seen Metroid Prime 4 at all.
No.
We haven't seen Bayonetta 3 at all. We got one like little snippet of No More Heroes 3 at the end of that one live stream or whatever.
We did. A little bit of just a reveal.
Yeah, so I think going forward for us, what we're going to talk about, because I think we might be starting to get into the slower news cycle until the lead up to November. We could potentially be getting more into boys cast, just hanging out.
Yeah, just hanging out.
Maybe some movie reviews and discussions, you know, depending on, like, I'm really interested in seeing Tenet, but I'm not going to go out to go do it, so
No.
Depending on how quickly that gets released to VOD, I'm hoping before the end of the year, you know.
Yeah, I've made peace with it. I've made peace with just being like, I'm just going to see Tenet when it's on digital. I'm just going to rent it wherever I can and hopefully watch it in pretty good conditions. But I don't really want to go in the theaters to do it. Doesn't feel safe. Doesn't feel right.
It's just like, I watched a review of it, like a no spoilers, very little detail review, and the guy said that he had to go to a press screening at a Cinemark, and there was only 5 people allowed in the theater.
Whoa.
And everybody was like in a corner, basically.
Yeah. Whoa, that's crazy. That's kind of cool, though, that you were so selected to do it. But, no, I'm sure that movie is really cool. But the next movie I think we could maybe talk about is that Robert Pattinson and Tom Holland.
Yes, I think we should do that. You know, we
cool.
also just started school, so like the podcast schedule might be a little wacky.
Yeah.
You know, so far we've been able to maintain this like Thursday record and upload kind of schedule, but
absolutely.
Going forward, I think we're gonna, you know, do some more boys casts, some movies, maybe start streaming some stuff, play some games together.
Yeah.
I think that's all for today. Big day, lots of cool stuff.
Yeah.
Excited to see what comes next. Thanks
Absolutely.
for listening. I've been Jarrett, and I always will be Jarrett until I die. I hate when people say, like, I've been Walter Cronkite. Like, of course you have been. Who else would you be?
Well, this has been the Creative Differences podcast. Kill your mom.
Oh, yeah. How could we forget Kill Your Mom?
Kill your mom.
Follow us on Twitter. Follow us on Twitch. Pretend we stream there. Just like we do. Yeah. And subscribe to our channel. We don't really care about views. We're just kind of doing this for fun.
Yeah.
But it makes me wonder, do we have a stand yet? Is there someone out there? Like, is it your mom?
I don't know if my mom even watches any of these. She's not going to watch a 40-minute video talking about fucking Elden Ring.
Are you sure?
I don't know. Maybe.
You've moved out. Like, you don't know what her new hobbies are.
You're right.
All right, guys. It's been fun. Talk to you next week, probably.
Yeah.
Unless, I don't know. What could happen?
It's
fine. Everything's fine.
Yeah. Stay safe.
Bye.
Bye.